Hey Happy Crew, HappiDaze here. In today's video, we're taking on Day 4 of Grand Party Season 28. So, hoping that we get a lot of layer recruit captains today. Hopefully there's not too many burst leaders, but if they are, we're going to aim for the Psy Luffys. Or if we can't, then we'll just kind of deal with the Int Luffys that are there, or anyone else that might be there. So let's go ahead and get right into the first match and see what happens. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the first match of the day. We are having the opportunity to face a rare recruit captain, so we're going to do that, especially when it gets down to the last 2 days. Like, you don't want to fool around. If you can take away as much of the improbability of not winning as you can, sometimes you got to take it. So this looks like just a fully auto-generated team. So as I mentioned, at the end of the day, when you're done matches, just go in, set your teams to auto, or if for whatever reason you don't feel like doing that, just set a leader to a non-burst leader, help out everyone, let everyone get to 15 wins. There's no reason not to. Do the community strat. So that being said, our guys are pretty much going to melt all these guys pretty quick. Once Luffy and S28 go, it's pretty much over. So yeah, not really too much commentary on this fight, just because it's a full auto team, so there's not really a lot of strategy involved in winning. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and kind of get this pretty quick. Unfortunately, the downside of the auto team is that means that our burst isn't going to get charged because we're not going to take a ton of damage. But as you can see, we can dish out a ton of damage back. So at least hopefully these matches won't take too long. I assume that because the first team was auto-edit, the rest will be auto-edit, so it'll be really super easy to get in there. As I was mentioning, just while we're talking about strategies and things to do, and while these are auto matches, if you're trying to figure out, how do you approach, how you choose your captains, who do you go against. So luckily for the 9th win, you can see that we have, or for the 10th win, I should say, you can see that we have the ability to see the opponent's first team. So you want to make sure that when you're going against your opponents, you're always using tight advantage when you can see the team. Obviously, on the last day, when it wipes out all 3 teams and you really can't see who your opponents are, that is completely different. You just kind of got to hope for RNG. So, yeah, first thing you want to do for those kind of fights, try to win that first fight with type advantage. And what that will do is, even if you're facing a burst captain, either A, that burst captain will use a burst on that first match, and then you can hopefully finish off the rest of the team with either burst of your own or with the units that you have on the field. Or second, they'll use the burst on the second match, and then you can just kind of let them use their burst there, and then have at least one burst on the third match. So typically when I go into these fights, what I'm really looking to do here, and ooh, that was a shot by Roger like a bomb. What I'm looking to do on these fights is really maximize my chance of winning either on the second or third fight. So I'm just skipping here just because I don't want to bore you guys here. But yeah, so that's fight number 1. Not too bad. Got through auto edit. So let's see what match number 2 has in store for us. And hopefully it's just as good as this first match. Alright, so for match number 2, we're going to go ahead and take on this Uta Rare recruit captain at the bottom there. I think she just does fixed damage, so I'm not really too worried. I'm curious what kind of team they actually have her in. So we'll go ahead and take a quick look at that. It looks like it's the strength team. Okay, that makes no sense at all considering she's a Dex unit. Not sure why they put that person there. It is what it is. We go on. So just to go back to the screen selection that we just passed by there. So it looks like there were 2 other side G5 Luffy captains. So of course, if the third option there wasn't this Halloween unit, we would have obviously taken on one of those 2 side G5 captains. Top one looked like it was a int team to kick it off. Would have felt pretty confident using my own int team to take them out, and then obviously having a burst or 2 in the preceding matches to be able to kind of eke out the win there. The second match would have been probably a little bit easier just because the first team was a quick team. So I could just do a Dex team on there, easily got a burst done to me on the first match, and then had 2 bursts for a single match later on. So either way, could have totally taken on all 3 of those, wouldn't have been a problem. But you take the less risks on the last couple days so you can get those full gem rewards, and that's exactly what we're doing here. So you can see we make quick work of the strength team. They didn't to use their Luffy there, who's kind of the main damage dealer on that team. So yeah, they weren't really able to do much to us. You can see they only changed our burst gauge maybe about like 25%, 30%, so really not much at all. So for the second match, we are facing the Dex team. So here, Lucci does a lot of damage. Obviously, Dofi and Sanji can do a lot of damage as the match goes on. Brook does some heals, I believe. So it looks like they're, trying to stall out. Do a similar strategy where, you kind of have a very bulky team. Take 2 bursts, right, if you're facing this kind of team. So that's kind of what the game plan looks like from their side is, but we should have no problem getting through here. I did end up changing this team a little bit, throwing Otama in the spot that Sanji was on yesterday, just because I'm building my team actually in the same way that they built theirs. So The idea with this team is that it just takes a whole ton of damage in the fact that we have the revive with the Luffy unit, the revive with the Zoro unit, Otama providing the healing. So even if we take a burst right away at the very start of the match with this team, you should be able to get to like 75% of our health back pretty quickly. And then the goal would be to be able to get that burst gauge of our opponent charged again, assuming you're facing a side G5 Luffy, and that will basically allow us to go ahead and take 2 bursts in one run, sacrifice this team, so that way you'll have a burst going to the third match while your opponent doesn't have any. So that's kind of the game plan. In this case, because it wasn't a burst captain, we really didn't even have to worry about it. We were able to just kind of get through there really quickly, pick up win number 11. You'll love to see that. And we roll on. So let's see if we're going to get lucky for our third match and find another rare recruit or not. So for match 3, we do have another rare recruit captain. So huge shout out to this guy at the very bottom here. Could have made Luffy his leader like you saw in the team above, but luckily he didn't do that. So we're going to take on this team just so we can get the guaranteed 12th win, get us one step closer. Just rearranging my teams a little bit here. So I'm going to have my Free Spirit team go first because I don't have to worry about their bursts going off. So the only unit you have to really watch out for in these teams is obviously the Yamato unit, who can just do a lot of damage, and of course the Odin unit, who can do a lot of special bind, and then of course Luffy, who himself can do a nasty 5,000 hit and then some damage to defense as well. So luckily we have Otama on our team just keep us nice and healed up, so we just don't have to worry too much about it. We're probably going to have Rebecca Toy Soldier go first as the first special to kick off. Oh, actually Odin was able to get it off, and oh, that is lucky for us. So we didn't get anyone action bound or special bound. Luffy just comes back and boom. Just an amazing amount of damage there. Helps us get a little bit closer to the win. Zoro's just going to give us all the defense we need, and at that point, we're just pretty much an indestructible tank. Roger does his attack here. Again, almost takes out a couple units himself. We're going to take a shot here from Luffy. And basically, once our burst gauge is charged, we can go ahead and use it. There's a lot of free spirits they have on their side, so we should be able to do a lot of force out. And that'll be kind of the game plan from there. A couple more coming in from the bench just to make that burst that much more worth our time. But you can see Otama is just healing us up. You know, we just took the shot there from the Law, the fixed damage. Otama heals us right back up, and we have a burst that we can go ahead and use. And we're holding it just a little bit. Actually, we're gonna save the burst. Yeah, we're gonna save the burst. I think we'd still win without having to use the burst. So at this point, yeah, I'm just gonna save it so we have 2 bursts for the next match. I mean, they don't have a burst captain, but if I couldn't see the second and third team and they had a burst captain, you want to save as many charges as you can of your burst. So yeah, I'm just gonna save it here. We can use it in the second battle. It'll just make it a little bit quicker for us. And yeah, hopefully the team in the second battle won't be good, and Odin will just end it right here. Boom. There we go. Yeah, so we have a burst just ready to go. It should be pretty simple no matter what the team is. We're having our int team go. That way we can get our specials off first. Looks like a quick team? Yep, quick team. Cross guild does some special rewind. Got to watch out there. Obviously, Akainu does the 35% HP cut. So the game plan here will be just before Akainu kind of gets his special to go off. We'll use our burst. That way it just recharges it so we can get 2 bursts really quick if we don't kill them right away. So, boom. There we go. Yeah, the end of turn damage, or the damage over time, might end up killing most of these guys here for us. So I have Nami and Karina who will come in and do some special reverse. It looks like Cross Guild might go first. So we're going to get some special rewind here. Alright, a little bit of a bummer, but not the end of the story by any means here. And when Luffy goes, it should pretty much be over. With the combination of Luffy and Yamato, like, it should be over right here. Right? Boom. There we go. Oh, 1 unit left. S-Hawk's just going to say, nope, you're out of here. So, boom. Just like that, we were able to get through all our matches for the day, get 12 out of 12 wins. It's all about strategy going into this last day. So, like I said, the overall strategy that you should be following is to be able to have at least either 1 burst advantage or 2 burst advantage, right? And how we typically do that is on using your best team, you have them go first. Typically, it's a team that is boosted or has a lot of CT, so you can make sure that your team actually wins. If you're able to win that first match without using a burst, you basically have 2 bursts for a preceding match, which is like a huge advantage. Should be able to easily win if you can at least have 2 really good PvP teams, so that's kind of the goal there. In that case, I have 3 pretty much whale teams there, so I don't have to worry too much about that, but that's the game plan, that's the strategy. So hopefully we'll have some good luck tomorrow. When you're done, change your leader to a non-burst captain or an auto-edit team. Help everyone out. Help everyone get to 15 wins. Community strategy wins, and we're all here, and we're all in it together. So let me know in the comments below how your Grand Party is going so far. Are you still 12 out of 12? Did you hit any kind of weird, unexpected hurdles? Did you have to face any burst captains and didn't have an opportunity to do any rare recruit captains? Love to hear that as well. Let me know. Like and subscribe as always. Be kind to each other.